Hello, everybody. Happy Veterans Day to those who have served in the military. I hope you all are having an awesome day. Um, I am making this video to share with you all my story of being a veteran. Believe it or not, I am a United States veteran. I served for 2 years in the United States Army. It's honestly, it seems like it was a lifetime ago. It pretty much was. It was like it's been how many years? It's been God, it's been 20 years, you guys. So like what, 2 decades ago? Wow, I'm getting old. But I thought today would be a good day to share my story of my time, my experience in the military. So let me begin by saying that in high school, I did 3 years of NJROTC, and I absolutely loved it. I did not do 4 years because I entered the program in my sophomore year instead of freshman. So, but I absolutely loved the 3 years that I was in ROTC. I loved the structure. I loved the discipline. I just loved it, and I always excelled in that class. I loved ROTC. And in my senior year is when I started, a lot of people in their senior year were deciding what colleges to go to and what to do with the rest of their life or whatever. And I knew I didn't want to go to college because I didn't feel equipped to go to college or whatever. So I knew I wanted to go in the army though. And in my senior year of high school, I sought out an army recruiter, and the recruiters the recruiters in my hometown at that time, they all kind of worked together. I think there was like three of them, but I did have one recruiter for myself. And it wasn't, like I said, it was my senior year of high school. I went and started talking to them, and they weighed me and taped me, meaning they just checked, it's your body mass type thing. And I was about 25 pounds over um, the limit, the Army's limit of being able to get in. So my senior year of high school, I lost 25 pounds. And yeah, so I lost the 25 pounds. And let's see, I graduated in May of 1999. And then I went, my first day of basic training was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina on September 27th. I think it was September 27th of 1999. And I remained in the Army for till July 18th, 2001. I actually had a 3 year contract, but I only stayed in for 2 years, and I'll get to that reason in just a moment. Um, let's see. So yes, okay, I did my 8 weeks or 6 weeks of basic training at Fort Jackson, and then I also did I did my AIT training, Advanced Individual Training, at Fort Jackson as well. I My job in the Army was a chaplain assistant, and that means my job was to protect my chaplain, because in the military, excuse me, in the military, chaplains are non-combative. They do not carry weapons. So I was to protect my chaplain, and let's see, and that's pretty much that was pretty much my job. So let's see, we got to AIT. I forgot how long AIT was. I don't remember. It wasn't too long. And then in what year? That was 99. So in the year 2000, after I graduated AIT, I went to my first and last duty station, which was Fort Riley, Kansas. And um, that is where I remained until I got chaptered out of the Army. Honorable discharge. So yeah, some of the things I did while I was at Fort Riley was me and other chaplain assistants would actually we maintained our own church, our own chapel. We took care of it. We cleaned it, and things needed to be fixed that we could fix. We fixed it. We also helped with Sunday services. There were at that chapel there was a Protestant service and there was a Catholic. Was there a Catholic service? I don't remember now, but I remember being there on Sunday, setting up for the Protestant service, and then taking stuff down. And we were in charge of counting the offering and making sure the offering got to the bank that afternoon after we closed up the chapel on Sunday. I know that much. And during the regular days of the week, the weekdays, I would help my chaplain in his office, and I would do whatever he would need me to do, which wasn't really much. I mean, we didn't really have like our unit. We were in 101st FSB, Forward Support Battalion, and there wasn't a lot for us to really do. But he just mainly gave me a lot of busy work. There was paperwork to go through from like previous chaplains and stuff like that, and if there were people who needed an appointment to talk to him, I was in charge of that, of course, and of answering the phones and I mean, that was it. It's like, I know it sounds like, I don't know. We did go to the field together at Fort Riley for like 2 weeks. I remember that. And we also did, I remember that because it was in like the middle of summer in Kansas and it was like 600 degrees outside. And I remember it was the first few hours we were at in the field. I literally had to go to Charlie Med, and because I was so dehydrated, I was put on like a stretcher thing, and I was given IV fluid because I was so dehydrated, like I was gonna pass out. I remember that. I was fine once I got some fluids in me because when I was drinking water, but it didn't matter. It was so hot that time. But we also together we went to the National Training Center, NTC, in Fort Irwin, California for 30 days. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Let me share a picture with you guys so I can show you. Me and my chaplain at Fort Irwin, California at NTC. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, there we are. Aren't we cute? We're next to our Humvee. Oh, boy. So, yep. That was in 2001 when we went to NTC. Yep. Now, let me get into why I was honorably discharged. Back then, before this was before 9/11 happened, um, I got honorably discharged because I did not pass my run time for my PT test. I didn't pass my run time in the allotted time that was given to me. I think I was like 34 seconds off. My run time was like 34 seconds off. I passed my push-ups, I passed my sit-ups just fine, but I was 34 seconds off of my run. And that was grounds for an honorable discharge out of the Army. I mean, like, I was like, what? Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Crazy. I didn't want to get out of the Army. I wanted to finish my 3-year obligation. Now I've learned since 9/11 they can't do that anymore. So they can't honorably discharge you because you didn't pass your PT run or something. I don't know if that's changed or not. So, but I was on my 20th birthday of 2001, July 18th, 2001, was my official last day in the United States Army. Happy birthday to me, right? I remember that day. I remember signing out my final paperwork, and I felt so bad, like, because I felt like a failure. I was just like, now what do I do with my life? But let's see. After that, I was in it's called the inactive reserves for 8 years, I think it is. Like if they needed to call you back, you're good to go. Well, 9/11 happened shortly after I got discharged, and I was like, I remember it. I remember because they locked down Fort Riley, and I was married at the time, and I was like, oh, they're definitely going to call me back. They're going to need me back. No, they did not. They did not need me back. So, but yeah, so I was in the United States Army. That is where I also met my husband. He did 8 years in the Army. He went to, he's been to Iraq. He did a year in Iraq. He did a year in Korea. But like I said, we met at Fort Riley, and we also he was also, after he got out of the active reserves, he was in the no, he got out of active duty and went into the reserves for 4 years. And so he's done like what 10, I think he's done 14 years total with the Army. He is no longer in the reserves or anything like that. But that's where my husband met, at Fort Riley. We were in the same unit. Well, I was in headquarters and he was in Bravo Company, but it's all the same. So with that being said, oh, excuse me. With that being said, I just wanted to share my story this Veterans Day. And yeah, I always feel like because I didn't get to go to Iraq and I didn't get to go to Afghanistan or any of those things, I feel like my story doesn't matter. That like I wasn't really in the military because like I didn't really serve, or I don't deserve the veteran status because I never went to combat, you know. And I always, every year, I always feel guilty when someone like will say, "Oh, Happy Veterans Day," because it's like I feel like I don't deserve it, you know. And I always I go through it every year. So, but that's just something I got to work through in my mind because someone mentioned to me that they're like, well, no, all of it matters whether you went to Afghanistan or not. You know, you signed up to do something that other people would not do. You know, that they're too scared to um, join the military. You weren't. You raised your hand and said you would swear you would protect this country. So, and I could see it that way. But, yep. Anyway, that is my story, and I wanted to share it with you all. And I do hope you guys are doing great. We here in Dallas, excuse me, are expecting freezing temperatures coming tonight. They were going to be getting the low 20s. So, yeah, it's freezing. And it's going to be only like in the 40s tomorrow and then 20s again at night. But it's all good because I love that type of weather. So, I'm going to get ready to bundle up and stay warm. And I hope you guys are doing good. And thank you for listening to me ramble. All right. God bless you guys. Bye.